fans out there. Oh my goodness, we have made it to the home stretch. This is day 27 of my Skyrocket Your Sales series. And if you're joining me for the first time, I am Jess Rydell, aka Ageless Jess. And there are 26 other wonderful episodes of this series awaiting for you on whatever platform you happen to be watching. I have a special treat for you guys today because I have with me Mishelle Thorpe, who is an Instagram expert. I was so excited when she agreed to come on the series. I've known Mishelle for a little over a year now, and one of the very first, very striking things about her was her energy and just this go-getter personality that she has. She works with clients on Instagram marketing and really helps them avoid doing a whole bunch of unnecessary things, which she'll speak to that in a minute. But anyway, she's terrific at what she does, and I couldn't be more thrilled to introduce to you guys Mishelle Thorpe. So Mishelle, take it away. I wanted to ask you, I know that you have a lot of great tips about Instagram marketing, but we have all different levels of salespeople that are watching us right now at different levels of business. So I wanted you to first maybe speak to someone that's newer in business, that's just getting started. Maybe they're in their first or second year of business. What tips and strategies would you recommend to those people for lead generation on Insta?
Oh, Jess, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to have this conversation. For those of you who are newer in business, this is something that is often overlooked, but make sure that you have a lead magnet linked in your bio that folks can request without having to contact you, without having to have any kind of conversation with you. Depending on what you do, the level of service that you provide may make it seem awkward for people who don't know you to reach out. So what I see a lot of is DM me for this thing, or let's have a conversation and I can give you this thing. No, put it in your bio. Don't link it in your post because people can't click on those. Put it in your bio and direct people to your bio for something that just blows them out of the water so they can get in your orbit without having to speak with you first.
I love that tip. Okay. And that reminds me, I'm working on a lead magnet right now myself, but it is not in my bio. So, whoa.
There you go.
I'm taking that tip and running with it. What about you guys? Awesome. All right. And then, Mishelle, we see a lot of, I call it like indicating, like it's like the whole Reels thing with the copycat and I'm going to lip sync this little line because everyone else is doing that same thing. I know you're dying 1,000 deaths right now. And you and I have had this conversation because I'm like, is this a legit like strategy? Like, are people really getting sales and results and making money from using this tool? So let's talk about people that might be a little confused by what's going on Instagram that are maybe in years 3 and beyond of business. What's a top tip you would recommend for them?
Don't follow the trends unless they are super duper 1000% specific to your business. My business has nothing to do with dancing. My business has nothing to do with entertaining people. Sure, I mean, I've got energy, I can entertain you, but my business is about coaching. So I'm not going to do a movie voiceover that talks about something that has nothing to do with my business. That doesn't serve my audience. Now, if you have a business, I can't think of any off the top of my head. That's how rare it is. If you have a business where that kind of content would be valuable to them, go ahead and share it. But again, I don't see many businesses that would fall into that. My yardstick for folks who are more on the advanced side is think of everything that you post on Instagram like a billboard for your business. If you don't want to be cruising down the highway and look up and see that representing you on the side of the highway, don't put it on your Instagram feed.
That one just really landed with me. Like that's a brilliant way of putting it. It's like if it's just a distraction and has nothing to do with what you do or how you serve the people in your audience, then what's the point? I saw a meme the other day, and this kind of speaks to what you just said, and it was a good reminder. And it was something that I did like a boot camp back in 2018, and it was a meme that said, stop wasting time on things that have nothing to do with your dreams.
Yes.
And that really landed with me. And then just now, as you said, the billboard, I mean, I was just like imagining somebody seeing a billboard of themselves, like doing this like corny voice, again.
You would just be horrified if someone sees that out of context. No.
Right. No, I totally get it. Like it's like we got to show up to think about what is serving our audience, what is adding value, what's gonna. Yes, we need to get and keep attention, but what way, what manner are we doing this in?
Yeah.
And does it serve our highest good? And would you want to see it on a billboard? Wow, I want kind of some of these TikToker like wackadoodle energy people to really listen to this, because if you're serious about your business,
Right.
the likes aren't paying the bills.
Amen. That is one of the things that I say all the time. Engagement doesn't pay your bills. It doesn't matter if this piece of content had 0 likes or 1,000,000 likes. It's how many of those people are getting funneled into your business and how many of them are the right people for your business. I can't tell you how many stories I've heard from entrepreneurs who have gone viral and say it was the worst experience they've had on social media. It's
Say
not.
more about that, please. Please. I need to hear. I think our listeners, my audience, also needs to hear, because they're all like chasing a viral video, thinking it's going to make or break their business. Let's set
Not.
the record straight here,
No,
Mishelle.
it's quality over quantity. It doesn't matter if you have 1,000,000 people seeing this piece of content if they're not your ideal client. It doesn't matter. The same thing goes for follower count. For any engagement metric, you want your account to represent quality. You want quality people following you. I have a very low follower count. People look at it and they're like, "How are you an Instagram expert?" Because I remove every follower who isn't someone I already know or who isn't a woman service providing solopreneur. This is a community. Your Instagram account is a community of your folks. You don't want to go viral, y'all. You don't want to go viral. You want the most people in your audience to see your content, not the most people in the world.
That makes a lot of sense, because I mean, again, I'm fond of saying this, and I've said this to clients I've worked with on, getting a business out into the world. It's like when we try to please everyone, we please no one. So who are
Right.
you talking to? If you're
Right.
trying to do a funny little dance and make everyone laugh, then how is that really supporting your
And if
business?
if your audience, even if it's something a little bit more targeted, if your audience has seen that same thing played out over and over again, they're not going to pay attention to you. You don't want to. What's the point of using trending audio when your user has heard that piece of audio over and over and over again? We don't want to be doing the same things as everybody else unless it is actually serving in a great way.
I love that. So, Michelle, another question kind of came to my mind based on what you talked about with the lead magnet. So, as far as them like downloading and then they're in the nurture audience, and do you feel at that point though, the marketing nurture sequence would begin, right?
Yeah.
So they'd
Mhm.
have, some value content. And then how often should people that are doing consistent email marketing be posting an offer for whether it's a call or an event or some kind of other way to get them into the soft funnel?
Yeah, that's a really great question. 90% of the content that you post on Instagram should either be free value that they can consume from that piece of content, like tips in the caption or on in the video, on the video with text or something like that. Um, Either something they can consume within the post or directing them to something that's free. That can be every single time you post. There's really no danger in oversharing free content. Where there is danger is oversharing paid content. 10% of your content should specifically have a call to action to buy something. 90% free. And that can be every time.
I love that. Okay. And then, if again, as people are following you, if they're staying engaged, if they're opening the emails, reading the content, when that offer comes, they're like, "Oh, look, here's something I can actually do with this person." But
Yep.
it's not like you're blasting them with a new sale every single time you email. Yeah, and I've seen people market this way, and it
Yeah.
gets them unfollow, unsubscribed.
Right.
Because you don't want to see a daily offer. Like it just,
Right.
it can be a little overwhelming. And I know we're in sales and I know our job is to sell our stuff, but if all you're doing is selling your stuff, that's not the sort of right flow of
Right.
attraction. And I
Yes,
think
on
that's where a
social
lot of,
media. Oh, on social media, the fastest way to ensure that you're not selling your programs and products is to talk about your programs and products. When you're talking about when you're giving that free value, when you're helping them, they're going to start wondering what more can they do with you. They're going to go to that link in your bio. They're going to subscribe to your email list. They're maybe going to sign up for a free call that you've got linked in your bio. All of that plays into each other.
I love that. Yeah, no, it's very, very, very true. Any other parting words for the audience? And I had one more thought. It just flew out of my head, but it might come back. So let me turn it over. Your top piece of advice, or maybe something, Mishelle, that you find yourself saying over and over, that if people could really grab that tip and run with it, they would be seeing a different result with their Instagram marketing.
We touched on this a little bit, but I'm going to hit it again. Your engagement doesn't pay your bills. Your audience is so lucky to have you. They need what it is that you have to provide. Just because your engagement is in the toilet or you're feeling like nobody cares what you're sharing on Instagram, let me give you this nugget. The person, my client who has spent the most money with me in my business ever, doesn't like any of my content. She follows me. She never hits the like. She never comments. She's a lurker. And so many people are. That didn't stop her from spending a lot of money with me and me helping her.
Wow. So she lurked, but she knew that you could help her with her specific problem, which
Yep.
was she wasn't selling enough marketing, or selling enough of her. She wasn't getting enough
Yeah.
business from Instagram, right?
Correct. Correct. And now she is. And now she's an all-star and she still doesn't engage with my content. But that's okay because she doesn't have to in order to work with me. Your audience doesn't have to engage with your content in order to work with you, but never give up. Never give up that belief that what you offer is so important. You matter and your clients are lucky to have you whether they're liking your content or not.
So good. And I thought of what I was going to say. And it was, again, as you are messaging to people, make sure that you are clear about the specific problem that your business solves. So I think a lot, I work with a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs. My business started, I was a spiritual life
Yeah.
coach. I helped women going through divorces. I helped women wanting to get out of corporate America and start a business. But the thing is, we can't just offer these sort of, and I don't mean to say like airy fairy, but these sort of ethereal concepts, or you're just marketing a modality, but people don't know how that working through that modality is going to help them with their specific problem. So the
Exactly.
more that you can tie it to a specific problem, challenge, issue that you solve, and that they get a transformation on the other side of the work with you, the better off you are, because then people are not thinking about you, they're thinking about them. And they're thinking about, when I invest with this
Yes.
person, what do I get?
What's in this for me?
Exactly. And I think a lot of people get a bum steer. There's a whole lot of, I think there's somebody that calls it being interneted, where it's just, you see other people doing things and you want that level of success. So you're copycatting someone with strategies that, maybe they work for them differently than they might work for you at your level of business. So
Right.
getting
Right.
the good guidance and direction that you need to really start earning money, and not just showing up and getting a bunch of comments and likes, that's really where it's at. Mishelle, if someone were to want to contact you, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Come hang out with me on Instagram. That is where I spend most of my time. I'm really not on a whole lot of other platforms at this point anymore. It's easy to find me. It's Michelle.Thorpe.
Wonderful. And I'm going to screen capture. The problem with my Restream is that's the one platform it
I
doesn't go. But I
know.
figured out, I can actually do a screen capture recording and just do a little edit, because I want this to be on Instagram. I want to be able to promote you to my audience,
Heck
and
yeah.
that you can get out there and help some folks. And I would be remiss. I've been kind of just doing a daily shout out for the people that are watching the series. If you need sales help, okay, because we are really specifically, the way I work is I am digging into your sales process and seeing where the gaps are so I can help you fill them. So I have a very personalized 1-day workshop coming up on March 23rd. It is virtual, so you can participate from anywhere. And we're going to kind of pull in a little bit of everything. And we're going to talk about the objections that you're having trouble overcoming. We're going to talk about what's happening in your process that is bringing you more no's than yeses, because we want it to be a balance. So I'm going to help you increase your closing percentage. So please participate in that. I will drop my link in the comments for that event. It's starting to fill up, so don't wait. But I'm really excited to work with the gang on the 23rd from 10 to 4 Eastern. Mishelle, such a pleasure. And thank you for coming on. I cannot wait to blast this around my Insta. And did you get to share it to your audience as well? Did you get to put in some of your links or no?
No, Instagram really is where I'm
at. Only where
so.
You're at. Okay. Well, I'll do the screen capture and I can send it to you. Okay. That's
perfect. Perfect. Tag me in anything that you post.
You got it. I sure will. Such a pleasure. Guys, Mishelle Thorpe, please get in touch with her if you need help with your Instagram marketing. If you need sales help, I'm your girl. And we're signing off. I'll be back tomorrow with the final day of Skyrocket Your Sales. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.